Hey, did you know that chickens are happiest when they roam in their natural surroundings? That's right. These feathery birds truly thrive when they are able to enjoy fresh air, forage for food, and live the way they intend to. The best part? This natural, stress-free lifestyle leads to happier, healthier chickens, and when they're happy, the quality of their eggs and overall well-being shines through. It's a win-win for both farmers and these cute little creatures. Pretty cool, right? Well, welcome to the world of free-range chicken farming. In today's video, we're going to dive into the world of free-range farming and why it's a better, more humane alternative to factory farming. From raising chicks to having the best farm-to-table process that gets those delicious eggs and meat to your plate will be covered in the next few minutes. But before we dive into the details, hit that subscribe button and let's get on to this farming journey together. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on the series of farming products and procedure we will bring up on this channel. So, what's the big deal about free-range chicken farming anyway? Well, let me paint you a picture. Imagine a flock of chickens happily wandering around a green pasture. They're scratching at the soil, munching on bugs and worms, and soaking up the sunlight. This is a far cry from the cramped, overcrowded conditions you often see in factory farming. In free-range farming, chickens are allowed to roam outside for most of the day, only returning to their coops at night for safety and rest. This freedom to move and forage naturally has a huge impact on their overall health and well-being. And guess what? This isn't just good for the chickens, it's good for you too. The eggs they produce have deeper orange yolks, are richer in vitamins like A and E, and are bursting with flavor. Here's the thing. When chickens are raised in a natural environment, it leads to lower stress levels, which translates directly into better tasting, higher quality eggs. These aren't your run-of-the-mill store-bought eggs that come from hens packed together in cages. These are free-range eggs, and once you've tasted them, you'll never look back. Let's kick things off at the very beginning, incubation and rearing the chicks. This is where the magic starts. You can't just grab any egg and expect it to hatch into a fluffy little chick. No, you need fertilized eggs, which means the hens have to mate with roosters. That's where the fun starts. The rooster courts the hen, and after some time, fertilized eggs are laid. Now, once we've got these fertilized eggs, it's time to place them in an incubator. You see, in a natural setting, the hen would sit on the eggs, keeping them warm until they hatch. But in farming, we use specialized incubators to mimic this environment. These machines are carefully designed to maintain the perfect temperature and humidity levels for hatching. And trust me, getting this right is crucial. Too hot or too cold, and the eggs won't hatch properly. After about 21 days in the incubator, you'll start to see the eggs crack, and out come these tiny fluffy chicks. It's an incredible sight. But this is just the beginning. The chicks are extremely vulnerable at this stage, and their environment needs to be carefully controlled to ensure they grow strong and healthy. In the first few weeks after hatching, maintaining the right environment is key. The chicks are placed in brooders, where the temperature is kept between 30 and 35 degrees C. This mimics the warmth they'd get from their mother hen in the wild. At this stage, they're still very fragile and need constant warmth to survive. But temperature isn't the only thing you need to keep an eye on. The chicks also need a steady supply of fresh water and nutritious feed. Dehydration can set in fast, especially in warm environments, so making sure they have easy access to water is essential. The feed, on the other hand, needs to be packed with the right nutrients to support rapid growth. As the weeks go by, you can start gradually lowering the temperature, allowing the chicks to acclimate to cooler conditions. By the time they're a few weeks old, they'll have grown enough to handle life outside the brooder, and they'll start transitioning to the great outdoors. Let's talk a bit more about what goes into feeding these chicks. In the early stages, their feed needs to be high in protein, vitamins, and minerals. Think of it as giving them a power-packed diet that helps them grow from tiny fluff balls into strong, healthy chickens. Protein is especially important because it helps in the development of muscles and feathers. As the chicks get older, their dietary needs change. They require less warmth but more space to move around and exercise. This is where free-range farming starts to show its benefits. By allowing the chickens to roam outside, they're able to forage for natural food sources like insects and plants, which complements their regular feed. What's cool about free-range farming is that it encourages chickens to engage in natural behaviors like scratching, dust bathing, and foraging. These activities aren't just fun for the chickens, they help keep them fit and healthy, which in turn leads to better quality eggs and meat. Now let's take a closer look at why free-range chicken farming is such a game changer. First off, it's all about the welfare of the chickens. In conventional farming systems, chickens are often kept in cages so small they can barely move. This leads to high levels of stress, which can affect their health and the quality of the eggs and meat they produce. But in a free-range system, chickens are free to roam, explore, and engage in natural behaviors. This reduces stress and improves their immune systems and results in healthier, happier birds. And the benefits don't stop there. Free-range farming is also more sustainable than conventional farming. Because the chickens are allowed to forage for part of their diet, farmers can reduce the amount of commercial feed they need to buy. Plus, free-range systems generally produce less waste and use less energy than intensive farming operations. And let's not forget about the environmental benefits. Free-range chickens help maintain healthy soil by scratching at the ground and fertilizing it with their droppings. It's a natural cycle that promotes sustainability and reduces the need for chemical fertilizers. But before we can let the chickens roam free, we need to make sure they have a safe place to call home. Building a proper coop is essential for their well-being. The coop needs to be sturdy enough to protect the chickens from predators like foxes, raccoons, and hawks. It also needs to provide shelter from harsh weather conditions, whether it's the scorching heat of summer or the freezing temperatures of winter. Ventilation is another key factor to consider. Chickens need a steady supply of fresh air to stay healthy, but the coop also needs to be warm and dry to prevent respiratory issues. It's all about finding the right balance. Inside the coop, you'll need to provide comfortable nesting boxes for the hens to lay their eggs. These boxes should be lined with soft bedding like straw or wood shavings, which helps keep the eggs clean and protected until you collect them. All right, let's talk eggs. If you've ever compared a free-range egg to a conventional egg, you've probably noticed the difference right away. Free-range eggs have richer, deeper-colored yolks, thanks to the chicken's varied diet of grains, insects, and plants. They're also higher in certain vitamins and minerals, making them a healthier choice overall. But the benefits of free-range eggs go beyond nutrition. Because the chickens are allowed to roam freely and engage in natural behaviors, they're less stressed and healthier, which leads to better quality eggs. These eggs are often considered more flavorful than those produced by caged hens, and they've become increasingly popular in markets around the world, despite their slightly higher price point. And while free-range eggs may be more expensive to produce, many consumers are willing to pay a premium for the superior taste and quality. It's a testament to the growing demand for more humane and sustainable farming practices. Now let's switch gears a bit. Free-range chickens aren't just prized for their eggs. They're also a popular source of meat. Once the chickens reach maturity, they're transported to processing facilities where they're prepared for market. The process begins with the chickens being transported to slaughter lines. This is done using automated systems that minimize stress for the animals. From there, the chickens are humanely slaughtered and prepared for the next stages of processing. After slaughter, the chickens are moved to machines that handle the feather plucking. This process is quick and efficient, removing the feathers and getting the chickens ready for further processing. Once the feathers are removed, the chickens are cleaned and prepared for the next stages of production. This includes gutting and preparing the meat for packaging. Once the chickens have been processed, they're cooled and cleaned to ensure they remain fresh and safe to eat. This is typically done using cold water baths or air-cooled tunnels, which help to reduce the growth of bacteria and extend the shelf life of the meat. It's a crucial step in ensuring that the chicken you buy at the store is safe to eat and has a long shelf life. Did you know that chicken is one of the most widely consumed meats in the world? It's true, chicken meat production has been on the rise globally, especially in countries like the United States, Brazil, and China. Chicken is affordable, easy to cook, and packed with protein, making it a popular choice for meals around the world. In fact, the demand for chicken is so high that it has become one of the most accessible and affordable protein sources available. This is especially true in countries like the United States, where chicken is a staple in most households. Once the chickens are processed, they're divided into different cuts: breasts, legs, wings, and more. These cuts are then packaged using automated lines, ensuring that the meat is properly stored and ready for shipment. Packaging is typically done in either plastic or cardboard containers, which help to keep the meat fresh and protected during transport. When it comes to nutrition, chicken meat is a powerhouse. It's low in fat, high in protein, and packed with essential vitamins and minerals like B6, B12, and niacin. It's also a great source of selenium and phosphorus, which are important for maintaining healthy bones and a strong immune system. But as with any food, it's important to handle chicken properly to avoid foodborne illnesses. Make sure you cook it thoroughly and store it at the right temperature to prevent the risk of food poisoning. Finally, once the chickens are packaged, they're stored in cold storage until they're ready to be shipped out. Cold chain transportation ensures that the meat remains fresh and safe to eat by the time it reaches consumers. From the farm to the table, every step of the process is carefully managed to ensure the highest quality product possible. And there you have it. From chick to chicken, egg to meat, free-range chicken farming offers a more natural, healthier, and sustainable way to raise chickens. If you're inspired by this journey or just love the idea of bringing farm-fresh products to your table, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more deep dives into the world of farming. Until next time, keep it free-range.